Welcome to TBB in the 10th edition, and welcome to Lisbon. You know that we choose the places always for a reason. And this time, we decided to come to Lisbon for the first time because it's one of the top emerging innovation ecosystems that today they are in the world. They are at the top of access like quality of life, like production in terms of research. But more important, they are one example in Europe, is the 5th country in terms of renewable electricity production. So thanks a lot for all our partners, all our Portuguese partners, to host us today here in Lisbon. But if you would thinking about Portugal, what it means to many of us, suddenly you start thinking about Magallanes and Vasco da Gama and all these kind of explorers that they have been discovering new territories. It was about risk, about passion. And suddenly I called me romantic, but I thought, hey, I have met many of those Magallanes now. And we are surrounded by these new explorers. And this is part of the TBB. This is part of the motto today: exploration, discovery. And when you go deeper and think about the energy sector, suddenly you realize that for the last years, there has been such a great effort on this discovery, on this exploration. And yes, I'm sure that you have seen this graph many times, okay? The global primary energy consumption. But if we look deeper on it, suddenly we realize that only in the last 1% of our existence, humans have discovered new energy sources, and they have been able to manage them efficiently. This is a real, quoting my colleague Bo, a real hockey stick, okay? And then if you go deeper, there, I can see my family. I can see my grandmother in the age of the coal, because they needed coal to cook, to heat the homes. And I can see my parents in the age of oil, starting then with one car, suddenly with a second car, then a third car, the motorbike, all this kind of consumption area. And I can see myself and my peers in the age of gas. And probably my daughters and my kids, we don't know exactly what is the age that they are going to live. But the good thing is that my older daughter now, he's asking for a Tesla, not a car. So there is some kind of meaning there. So do we need more exploration? Do we need more discovery? The answer is yes, for two different reasons. One is that the projections are that we will need more energy. The projections are that the energy consumption will grow 50% till the year 2050. And on the other side, all this growth, all this society that we have created, it has come with an undesired effect, which is that this graph means that we have been emitting to the atmosphere CO2, and it has grown in just this period of time 50%. So, as Diego and Sekovic was mentioning, yes, we need to go on exploring. And the estimation is that in 2050, 50% of the CO2 emissions savings will come from solutions that today are in the lab or in a very early stage. So this is something that then we can sit down and waiting for the year 2050. Unfortunately, we cannot. And this is something that Diego have mentioned, and this is something that we are really aware. This is the time to action for two different things. One thing is that in the year 2021, the emissions of CO2 were the highest in history. And the second thing is that just since a few months, we have realized how fragile our energy system is. And something that we had taken for granted for many years suddenly is at the stage, which is energy security, access to energy. We thought that this was something that it was only for the undeveloped countries, the problem. No, today it's here. And that has made that energy is a topic discussed in these forums, in newspapers, in every single house today. So we need to do something. We need to that. This is the time for the mood of exploitation. And exploitation for us means a scale and a speed. Some of you say, but are we prepared for that? Today, we have already the solutions here. This is just an example, 150 companies that many of them, they are already ready to scale. But if we see the innovation that has happened only in the last 5 years, we will see that the solar PV technology cost has been reduced 50% in 5 years, in the last 5 years. The offshore wind technology cost has been reduced 29%. If we go to the batteries, in the last 10 years, the cost was reduced 89%. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the solutions already here. It's just a question to scale and speed. And that is challenging, it's true. One of the challenges is for the innovators. These innovators that they have been in this kind of mood of discovery, but now they have a challenge, because now it is not a question of potential, it is a question of ability to execute. It's not only about the technology risk, it's about innovating in business models, in organizations. So that is a huge challenge also for them. But something that it is really crucial, and you have already heard this today, is the concept that if we want to scale and do it quickly, we need to organize this growth through industrial value chains. And this means, and especially because of energy, the innovation is systemic. So when we introduce an innovation, downstream and upstream is going to be affected. So we need everybody in the same boat. We need fit-for-purpose type of ecosystems that group all the corporates, big and newcomers, in order to work together. And in this scenario, we cannot forget something which is crucial, which are the resources. And I'm not only talking about the raw materials, that the ones that you are in batteries, you really know what it means, but also people and talent. For these batteries, for this new market, we need 800,000 people to be working here. New people, new positions, and we don't have this talent yet. The other aspect that it is relevant is that we need to create the proper market conditions. And here in energy, regulation and the public administration plays a crucial role. And just, for example, I would like to remind you, last year, 1 year ago, we were talking here about the Renewable Energy Directive and how the principle of additionality was a challenge to foster, to boost the green hydrogen. Well, just 15 days ago, there was an evolution of this directive, and today they have made it much more flexible. This has changed completely the timing and also the flexibility and the opportunity in the market. The same way that our VP Sefcovic was saying with the critical raw material package that it is being to be developed. All that prepare the proper market conditions for our companies and entrepreneurs really to hit hard, to scale, and do it in a proper speed. And the other thing which is very important is that this allows investors and companies to think about the long-term investments. We need this kind of security, stability, in order to be able to invest. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we need capital. And that is the other ingredient that we need here. And some of you say, hey, but green investing has been booming in the last years. It is true. And if we take the VCs, for instance, the venture capital investment, just in the year 2016, globally, there was an investment of 400 million. Last year, 2021, the investment in climate tech was 81 billion This is massive. Is it enough? Well, just for you to know, Amazon, the R&D expenditure of Amazon last year was 62 billion. And then if we think about the challenges and the goals of getting the net zero, some very much more smarter people than me, they have done some projections, and then what they are saying is that we need 9.2 trillion a year annually through 2050 to get to those goals. So we need a lot of capital, and not only about the quantity, but about to what extent we are going to match the investor appetite to risk, matching it with projects that by nature, some of them are the first of their type. We need to match it. So this is the logo, this is the message of this TBB. We need exploration, we need discovery, we need to foster all these crazy entrepreneurs discovering new things, but at the same time, it's about execution, it's about exploration, it's about scaling and doing it in a speed way. And this is something that in InnoEnergy, we have also tried to apply. We call ourselves an ambidextrous organization, so it's a bit frenetic, but it is fun. And then, since the year 2010, we have born with the ambition to be the innovation engine in sustainable energy. With a purpose, because we are doing all this for a purpose, to contribute to the energy transition and make energy more affordable, more accessible, and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. So how we do it, or what we do? On one hand, we have been focused on supporting, investing in these innovative companies, in this early stage, looking for this kind of exploration. And this, we have screening more than 7,000 cases and supporting some of them to put the solutions onto the market. We have had great performance levels, not only in terms of investing, but also on the contributions that this portfolio is going to have in the future for the CO2 savings. But since the year 2007, we started saying, okay, this is good. We are doing a good job. We are delivering. Fantastic. But we need also to think about that these companies need a proper market and the proper market conditions. That is where we started also working on creating new markets. Today, as you have heard, in the year 2017, we received the European mandate to lead the European Battery Alliance, an alliance that it has been an example today for the US Lee Bridge Alliance. Okay? We have also, after 3 years, then we launched the European Green Hydrogen Acceleration Center, and you have heard that now we have a new third one, which is the European Solar Industrial Alliance. All this representing an annual market of 390 billion in 2025. At the same time, we have mentioned that talent is needed, and we launched our European Battery Academy with more today than 15,000 learners and participants that now they are ready to work in this new setting. And we have also mentioned capital. Our BC community started with 11 members in the year 2013. Today, and yesterday they were partying, all of them, there are more than 100 of BC members in this community. And not only that, because something that you have, probably you heard in the news, in this sprint, we signed a collaboration with the Bank Santander also to foster the growth of our companies in order to scale and to do it quickly. And for me, it is a great pleasure to announce that EIT InnoEnergy and also Santander Asset Management, we are launching a new fund, a new climate tech fund, in order to accelerate the energy transition. So we are delivering, but still we have a lot to do, and more is going to come, because we are aware that infrastructures and energy systems also need new investment vehicles in order to become a reality. And all these worlds are interwoven, and that is where the multiplier, the synergies comes. Our companies benefit from these new markets benefit of having these innovators. And basically, this is what we call the ecosystem. All these type of ingredients, an ecosystem that has been evolving since the year 2010. An ecosystem that has grown, has become much more diverse, and even geographically going to the US. So this is an example of how our ecosystem has evolved. The TBB, the first TBB 10 years ago, we were in a hotel, 20 companies, 20 innovators, and roughly 100 people. Today, there is no hotel that can host us, okay? So welcome to the TBB. TBB is about innovation, speed, scalability, but basically it's about action. It's time to action. An action that it is not individual. We need all of us. It's a collaboration. And we can work together for two different things. Trust, and also because we share the same purpose. We want to foster the energy transition, and more than saving the Earth, because I think that the Earth will remain, is saving the future of the next generations. Thank you very much, and enjoy the TBB.